Okay, I just realized that I started the lab without recording it. So what I'm going to do is, as I've already completed the program one, I'm just going to show you how to work through that one. So here, you know the drill. You can either have one single .py file or you can have multiple .py files. So in the first, and we have like 4 questions in this lab. So the first question is using a dictionary to simulate a deck of cards. So here, when you are working with poker cards, the cards are assigned numeric values, right? For example, in the game of blackjack, the cards are given the following numerical values. Numeric cards are assigned to the value that I have printed on them. For example, 2 of spade is 2, and the value of 5 of diamonds is 5. Jacks, queens, and kings are valued at 10. Aces are either 1 or 11, depending upon the user's choice. But now we are supposed to write a program that uses a dictionary to simulate a standard deck of poker cards, where the cards are assigned numeric values similar to those in blackjack. So in the program, assign all the values to 1 to aces, just to make sure that we are not having any confusions. And the key value pairs use the following name of the card as a key and the card's numeric value as its value. So for example, the key value pair for queen of hearts is the key, colon, 10 is the value. For 8 of diamonds, it is 8 of diamonds, colon, and 8. The program must prompt the user to enter the number of cards to deal, and it randomly deals a card of that many cards from the deck. The names of the cards should be displayed like this, as well as the total value of the numeric value of the hand. The program is divided into 3 functions: main, create deck, and deal cards. So what I did was I first opened .py file, saved it. And then as we said that we are going to randomly deal a hand, first step is to import the random module. Next is defining the main function. And then we do know that we have 2 more functions, that is create deck and then deal cards. So first step is I'm going to create a variable deck and I'm going to call the function create deck, which will have my original dictionary. And the next step is to ask the user on how many cards the user wants to see. So enter the number of cards. Next, I'm going to create a variable hand, which is equal to deal cards, deck, comma, number of cards as its arguments. Now I'm adding the print statement here. There are 2 different ways. You can have the print statement here, or you can just print the contents right here. We'll see how that is when I'm discussing the solution. Okay, so now inside the define create deck, first is I'm creating a variable deck is equal to my dictionary, which has all 52 key value pairs because we have 52 cards in our poker set. So you have ace of spades as 1, 2 of spades as 2, 3 of spades is the key, 3 is a value, so on and so forth. So what I did was I first typed this one and then I copied this, pasted here, and then just changed the type. Same thing, changing the type with diamonds, changing the type with hearts. So now I'm done with this dictionary. But as I am calling this function and I'm creating a variable, this variable is expecting something in return, right? So that is the reason why I'm returning my deck. So the next step is calling the function or defining the function deal cards. So now defining the deal cards with deck and number, which are basically parameter variables. Now I'm first setting my hand value to 0. We'll see why I have commented this one out. And if number is greater than the length of deck, like if someone is going to ask for like 56 cards without knowing that there will be only 52, then in that case, what do? We just equate the total number of cards the user has asked to the total number of cards that we have in the deck. So that is length of deck. So num is equal to length of deck. So for count in range num, n is equal to random.choice from the list of deck. So when you are converting the entire dictionary into a list, all the keys in the dictionary are converted into the list. So now list of deck is basically entire contents of your dictionary with just the keys in it in the form of a list. Now, when I'm using random.choice, you are basically assigning a random index, because we are back to lists again, random index to the value n. And now you're printing n value, which are keys which we have selected. Now from this hand value, we are going to basically add each and every value for each of the key, right? And how can we access the value of a particular key? By using this format. Dictionary name, open square bracket, key, close square bracket. So this is the value associated with respect to that particular n key. Now, when you return hand value, you can just, this hand is having the hand value, which is the sum of all the values, and then you can print the value of hand. Okay, so if I have this, so this is all I've done and did not realize that I'm not recording. Okay, so for the number of cards, let's say 5. So this is the dictionary, which is now converted into a list, which has all the keys from our dictionary. And then these are the randomly selected index values from our list, and these are randomly selected keys. And the values associated with these keys are added, and the value is 30. Okay. This is an easy, program. It's not as difficult as it may look or sound. So please go through this one, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Okay, now let's start the second program. Okay, now let's coming to the second problem here. When you are looking at the first one, for example, let's say you are looking at this one, and here det is a dictionary, right, that you are passing as an argument into this function dec, or into this function deal cards. So when you are, as of now, you're not making any changes, but okay, let's just talk about the second problem, and then I'll explain the point that I want to explain. So storing numbers and birthdays in a dictionary, write a program that keeps your friends' names and birthdays in a dictionary. Each entry in the dictionary uses a friend's name as the key and the friend's birthday as the value. You can use the program to look up friends' birthdays by entering their names. The program displays a menu that allows the users to make one of the following choices. First is look up a birthday. Second is add a birthday. Third, change a birthday. Fourth, delete a birthday. 5, quit the program. The program initially starts with an empty dictionary, so you have to choose item 2 from the menu to add a new entry. Once you have added a few entries, you can choose to item 1 to look up a specific person's birthday, item 3 to change the existing birthday, and item 4 if you decide to delete a birthday from the dictionary, or item 5 if you quit the program. So the program is divided into 6 functions: main, get menu choice, look up, add, change, and delete. So this may look like a lengthy program, but it's not. Trust me, it's really not scary. It's just very basic. So let's start with the program. So I'm first defining my main2 function. And inside this one, oh, I started that in a hurry. Okay, cool. But first, let's define the global constants, because it will just make things easier for us. So that is look up is equal to 1, add is equal to 2, change is equal to 3, delete is equal to 4, and then quit the program is 5. That is, if the user enters 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, we are going to take that number and then, make, if that is a match with this number, then we are going to follow the instructions under each case. So that's the reason why I've created the numbers. So now let's create the dictionary called birthdays. So that is B days, short for birthdays. And here we are only creating an empty dictionary first, and then we are going to use the second option, that is add a new birthday, as our first step. So now let's take this choice is equal to 0, because now we are playing with choice. That is, the user enters choice. So while choice is equal to if it is equal to 1, instead of writing like that, let's use not equal to case. If choice is equal to, if not equal to quit, so as long as the user doesn't want to quit, then we are assigning the choice to the variable. Here in the program, it had said to use get menu choice. So that's the reason why I'm calling the function get menu choice. That's where I'm asking the user to enter his choice. Next, if choice is equal to lookup, then I'm going to call the function lookup with the argument bdays, which is my dictionary, because where should I look up if I don't have data? So the function lookup will be having argument, which is my dictionary. I can do elif choice is equal to add. In that case, I can call the function add with bdays as my argument. Elif choice is equal to change. Then I'm going to call the function change with bdays as my argument. Next, elif choice is equal to delete. Then I can just call the function delete with bdays as my argument. That's it. Like if the user decides to quit, then anyways, this loop will not be working. So that is my defining the main function, and I have successfully called all the other functions. So now let's first define get menu choice. To increase the readability, I'm just going to give a space. And here, now let's ask and we have to display this, right? Display the menu. So what I'm going to do is rent. I'm just going to print in a tabular manner. But before that, it's friends and their birthdays. And after this is the line. Now we'll have to print so this is 2 dot add a new birthday, 3 dot change a birthday, 4 dot delete a birthday, and then just enter and just a new line so that there is some gap. Okay, so after this menu is displayed, now we are asking the user to enter his choice, his or her or them or theirs choice, whatever. Int input, enter your choice. Just checking if I am recording or not. Now with this choice, we are going to return this choice and then send that to our, to the function call where we have choice. But before we do that, let's check the possibility of maybe like the user entering the numbers which are other than 1 through 5. So we'll be using an input validation loop here. So while choice is less than lookup and choice is greater than quit, right? That is the maximum value. Yeah. In that case, we are basically asking the user to enter the perfect choice or the correct value. And input, enter a valid choice. I mean, you could always say like, enter a number between 1 and 5, but I'm just going to say enter a valid choice. Next, now let's return choice. So now we have defined our first function, that is define get menu choice. Now the next function that we'll have to define is lookup. And then I'm going to use a different variable, that is bday, which is still the dictionary bdays that we have created, which is empty as of now. So now when the user wants to look up, what are we going to ask? We are going to ask the key value from the user, and then we are going to return, key variable from the user, and then we are going to return the value associated with that key, right? That is how we are giving or returning or printing the birthday associated with whatever name the user wants to search with. So now let's say name is equal to input, enter a name. Now with this, how can we, which method to use when you want to get the value as well? I just give away the method name. So that will be bday dot get name, comma, syntax is key, comma, default. Default is name not found. Hope that's clear. We are going to use the get method, and then are we returning it or are we printing it? We are just calling the function, so we can just print. Oh, we are anyways printing that. So, okay, we can just do print birthday just to show him that that is not in the list, but that's not required because we are anyways going to print this one here. So this statement is actually not required, at least for now. Now let's define the next function, that is add with bday. Then again name, input, enter a name. Next, we are also getting the birth date this time because we are adding both our new key and value pairs. So enter DOB, which is short for date of birth. And then we are going to use the dictionary bday name is equal to bdate. Now with that statement, we are adding that new key value pair into our dictionary. But what if the key is already existing in our dictionary? Then what can we do? And how to check? We can check that by using the if and in operators. So if name in bday, then in that case, print name already exists. Next, else, if name doesn't exist, then in that case, what we are just going to add that into the dictionary and then update our dictionary with the new entered key and value pair. So add birthdays. So now we can just return the updated dictionary. We can return it or we can also print it. So first, this is not assigned to any particular variable. So instead of returning, we can just print it. Okay. Now let's define the next function, which is change birthday. So here we are using the same key, but we want to update the value associated with that key. So again, asking the user to enter the name, next variable will be new birth date or new value associated with that key, and then now we can update our dictionary with name is equal to new date. But what if that name is already existing in our dictionary? Then we can use the if and in operators like we have used before. So we are going to we are going to use the if name in bday, which is our dictionary. In that case, we can say, we can now update the dictionary with this value, right? bday is equal to new bdate. Else, we can say print name not found. This is one way to do it. If we want to use the not in operator instead of in operator, then we can just have the same statements, that is if name not in bday, then in that case we are having, and what would be the better thing to do? Like if the name is already in the dictionary, then why would we even ask the new birth date, right? It doesn't make sense. So we can just take this part out and then have that in the case if we find a name in the dictionary. In here, if the name is not in the birthday dictionary, then we can just print, name not found. So for this if and else block, the else will be where you'll be asking the user to enter the new birth date, and then you will be updating the dictionary. So bday name is equal to new date. So you can have just one of these. I'm just going to comment this one out because no reason, but it's up to you. I've been using multiple, comment out region. Yeah, I was using multiple interpreters and multiple programming languages in the meantime, and everything got mixed up. Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. And this is not neat, it is not. Okay. So now that is done. Now we have successfully changed the birthday in the dictionary. We can now define delete function. Yep. And see, we are going to ask the user to enter the name. And we are going to take this name and then delete the key value pair associated with this name. And how can we do that? We can just use the del keyword. Again, I'm just going to cut it and then just say if name in bday. If that is the case, only then we are going to use delete bday and that name, which is the key. Else, we can just say print name not found. Yeah, that is it. So that is everything. Now let's call the main function. Did I have it as main two? Yep, I did have it as main two. So we have the choice. We are getting that from the user. We are finding all the other functions. And we are deleting the birthday as well. So now let's execute this. Okay, so enter your choice. Let's say first we have to start with 2 because for now the dictionary is empty. So enter your choice. Oh, but if you want to see the dictionary, I don't think I'm printing it anywhere. So that's the reason why. Let's just print the dictionaries after every step. Even if it's not found, then we would like to see the dictionary because we don't want to scroll back again. That's the only reason why. I could have just kept this print birthday outside of if else instead of having so many statements. That's just my brain today. It's been a very long day, and it's past 9. So I'm tired. Okay. So now let's call this function again, like this program. Choice 2. So that is my first key value pair. This is my key. This is my value, December 30. So if I do, oops, wrong choice of words. Okay, 2 again. Let's see if that is updated. Oh no. I did not. Okay, 2. Second time. Two. Two. So for now, we have the dictionary with these values, which are key value pairs. And now let's say that I want to choose option 1, that is look up a birthday. And then I'm using the name love instead of love. It says name not found, and this is a dictionary. So now let's again do love, and then you'll be seeing the key associated with that. You'll be seeing the value associated with that key love. And then if I say change a birthday, and then is a comma, because that's what I have in the dictionary. That was a typo, but we'll have to maintain the same thing. Otherwise, it won't recognize that as a key, right? So that's the reason why I'm using is a comma. Please don't repeat the mistakes that I am doing. Learn from me, learn from my mistakes. And then let's do 8th April instead of 6th April. And now it is updated to 8th April. So if I want to delete a birthday, let's just delete SAI, which I originally wanted to enter. So it says SAI is not found, like name not found, and that is the dictionary again. So if I want to delete it, choice 4, SA comma, now it is gone. So the key and the value both are gone, which are associated with SA. So now I have only 2 key value pairs in my dictionary. So if I quit the program, 5, I'm out. So, you should have got a doubt as of now, like why is this birthday getting updated when I am creating birthday in my main function, and I'm passing that as an argument everywhere, and it is getting updated everywhere. Like in the previous projects and in your previous programming assignments and labs, if you have observed this, you have been only passing arguments which are mutable. So which you have been only passing arguments which have been not immutable. So for example, integers and floating points, they cannot be changed. So those are immutable objects. So as you have passed, like, here, let's say if I have choice is equal to 0, and if I'm passing choice as my argument into a function, if I change that value somewhere in this particular function, then that value and its scope is limited to that function. The original choice value is not getting changed. Unlike here, we are passing an argument, we are passing a dictionary as an argument, and whichever stage at whichever function call, if you are I'm making any changes to the dictionary, the original dictionary is being updated. That is because this uses the concept of passing by reference instead of passing by argument. That is, whenever you are using like lists and sets and dictionaries as arguments, which are basically mutable, then there is no point, like there is no concept of pass by argument. It is the concept of pass by reference. And I have a .py file, that is information.py, and I'll be attaching that in the modules as well. So if you're interested, go through that one, and it's very interesting. I can also go through that towards the end of this lab, just so that it's explained and everything. Okay. So now comment this one out. I'm recording the lecture. That's good. Now let's start the third program. We are going to work with set operations in this one. So write a program that demonstrates various set operations. The program creates two sets, one that holds the name of students on the baseball team and the other that holds the name of the students on the basketball team. The program then performs the following operations. So here we are just creating our own sets with different names, but with certain common names, because we have to find the intersection, and that needs some common elements. So it finds the intersection of the sets to display the names that play both sports, basketball and baseball. Yeah. If finds the union, that is all the students who play sports in general. It finds the difference of the baseball and basketball sets to display the names of students who play baseball but not basketball. That is baseball minus basketball. It finds the difference of the basketball and baseball, that is basketball minus baseball sets, to display the number of students who plays basketball but not baseball. It also finds the difference of the baseball and basketball sets to display the names of students who play baseball but not basketball. That is basically this point again. It finds the symmetric difference of the basketball and baseball sets to display the number of students who play one sport but not both. So, which is the opposite of intersection. Okay, so now let's begin this. Okay, in this one, first I'm just going to define main 3. And then inside this main function, I'll be having two sets names. So that is baseball. And there is not a dictionary. Then how can we create a set? So that is, we call the set function and then have a list of elements with names. So that is, let's say, Tess, Andy, Alan, Charles. Oh, school somewhere. Okay. Charles and Rob are playing baseball. Now for the basketball, let's create another set that has names. Let's keep Tess in both the categories. Don't ask me why. It's just a random choice. And then I'm going to keep Randy here. Then next, Levi. And then let's keep Rob. We have two common as of now. And then let's do William. Okay. So now we have two sets. We can always print and see how they look like. So these are our sets. It's not the way that we have entered the names because sets are unordered. Okay, so now we know that for sure. Let's comment these one out. And now let's have the statement that says students who play both sports, because we are first trying to find out the intersection. That is for name in baseball. Oh, it's not required, right? We're not. Yeah, it finds the intersection of the students. So that's the main thing. So let's just work on the intersection. So students who play in both teams. So for names in baseball, dot intersection basketball, print names. That's it. So instead of using dot intersection, you could always use and operator. Sorry, where is that? And operator. This is the comment followed by and operator. And that will give you the students who play both sports. Now, next one was union. Students who play all sports. It's basically sports, not necessarily. Oh yeah. All sports is for name in baseball. Let's use this for a change. And basketball, print name. And what is the other method to use the, you can use dot union. That is your next method. Now it finds the difference between students who play basketball but not baseball, who play baseball but not basketball. So that is basically difference. So print students who play baseball but not basketball. It is for name in baseball minus basketball, print name. Instead of minus, you could always use dot difference. It's up to you. Okay. Next is students who play basketball but not baseball. Then it is just the other difference. You could still use the same dot difference. Now print students who play only one sport but not So that is for name in baseball. I can use symmetric difference, basketball. Event name. We could also find the symmetric difference for students who play basketball, but not baseball. Okay, so instead of this symbol, I'm just going to use dot. Yep, that's also the same. So now let's call the main3 function. Yep, so students who play both sports, Tess and Rob, from this list, from this set. Students who play all games, all the names. Baseball, but not basketball, is Charles, Andy, and Alan. Basketball, but not baseball, is Levi, Randy, and William. Who play one sport but not both, is basically Charles, Andy, Alan, Levi, Randy, and William. So this is the list of students. Okay. That is the third program. Coming to the fourth one, pickling and unpickling. So write a program that pickles the data. This program must prompt the user to enter the personal information, name, age, and weight, about as many people as he or she wishes. Full disclosure, I do not want to know your personal information, so please don't get offended. You can just give me random information. Each time the user enters information about the person, the information is stored in a dictionary, and then the dictionary is pickled and saved into a file named info.dat. After the program has finished, the info.dat file should hold one pickled dictionary object for every person about whom the user entered information. Sample output is this. So I'm just going to enter he, she, weight, anything like that, just random. Next, now write a program that demonstrates how the dictionary objects have been pickled and saved that into info.dat file and can be retrieved and unpickled. So this should be the output. So after the part A, we should be finding the info.dat in the same directory. After part B, we should be looking at the dictionary. And once we print the values, we should be looking at the values that are entered by the user in the first place. Okay, so now let's do it. That is define main4. And then, but before that, we'll have to import pickle, define main4. And then here, let's create an out file that is open info.dat, and the mode should be write binary, right? Because we are converting the contents into bytes, which is a binary file. Now let's create an empty dictionary that's called data, which is being entered by us, and I mean taken from the user, and then we are adding that into the dictionary. And then let's say response is equal to y, because we are going to take the information as long as the user is willing to enter the information. Okay, now while response is equal to y, we could also use is upper and is lower, or dot lower and dot upper. So feel free to make that if you want. And then now ask the user to enter the name. And then wait. You do int or float. I'm just going to leave it as input. All right. So now that we have this data, let's add that into our dictionary. Okay, let's make, I mean, it's not the same anyways, but I'm just going to keep it a little different. And we are going to add this as a key. So this should be inside the quotes. Name is equal to name and data age is equal to age, data weight is equal to weight. Now our dictionary is updated. Let's ask the user if he or she wants to enter the information again. So a blunder mistake somewhere, but this one, okay. So now we are making sure that we are not having an infinite loop and we are coming out of the loop successfully. So let's just take the entire data and then pickle.dump, take the data, which is our dictionary, and use that and dump that in the file, which is out file, where we are opening our info.dat. And then actually, yeah, and then just close the file. So let's call main4 and let's see this implementation. Enter name. Yes. Okay. Random numbers. Okay. So I'm entering enter. That means I do not want to enter any information. There are no more errors or anything. So in the labs, we should be finding an info.dat file. Do not, like, if it doesn't open, relax. You don't have to worry about it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to open with Notepad, and this is how it will look. We can still see the values though, but it is basically in the bytes format. So that shows that we have successfully pickled the data. Now let's work on unpickling the data. Okay. Cool. Now let's try to open the same file again. That is in file is equal to open info.dat, and the mode should be read binary because we are only reading the contents from the file. And then let's keep the sentinel as last line is equal to false for now. And then we'll have the while loop that says as last line is not equal to true. That means we have not reached the end of the file. Then here, let's include the try and except blocks. So inside the try block, let's say data is equal to pickle.load with in file. So whatever information that you have, now you are trying to load that into the variable data. And then we can have display data with data, except you can just say that we have reached towards the last line, that is true. Okay, now let's close the file. And now let's call the function display data. Define the function. We can just print it there, but Just wanted to show you that we could always, tweak and make changes to the program, and it's totally up to us. So now we can print name is, and instead of just printing the entire contents of our dictionary, we could just say name is, and then let's call the first key, or let's use the first value associated with that key. That is second name. Next age is that's it. You can just call the main function now. Oh, it is asking me to enter the entire information again, which I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to comment this one out. Yep. Yep. Why? Maybe because when I re-executed it, I made like I removed all the contents from my file. Yeah, it says 943. That's what happened. Yep, it has nothing in it. So I'll just have to enter the entire information again. Oh, sorry. Okay, so now okay, so name is she, age is 13, weight is 56. Name is he, age is 45, and weight is 167. So that is the output. If we want to look at different outputs, we could just print here. And now I'm just going to comment this one out, execute this one. It says none because there is no contents in the file again. Like, did I? No, what did I do? Okay. No. Then why is it printing none? Oh, this is printed, but where is this coming from? None. I see the output that his name is. Is this saying it's none? Oh yeah, that is saying, like, you see the output none from this statement because we are not returning anything from this function call. That is the reason why we are having an issue there. What if we return data? I'm just not making any change. I mean, you don't have to. Yeah. So now it's printing something. That is the reason why. Okay. So then good thinking is to just remove this print statement from here and then keep the one in the bottom and then also return. Remove the statement. Okay, so this is your lab 4. And as I've mentioned that I will be going over the information.py file. Let me quickly go to that, and then let's just quickly, just a brief discussion, that's it. Oh, no, not programming assignments. This is the one. Information.py. Okay, so here we are actually playing with, test one scenario is when you are having a mutable object and you are passing that from as an argument to a function, and then you see that you are making changes to that and it's happening. Test 2 is with the same property, but here you are churning a dictionary. Test case C3 is basically when you are having a set. So that is also determines the same properties. But when it comes to tuples, it is different because we are not going to see the same outputs because these are immutable objects. And again, string is an immutable object. So that's why, and also integer value immutable object. So play with this file. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or we can talk more about this. Okay, so with that, we are done with your lab. And I'm going to stop this recording and then post the content online. Next is your final exam. So I hope you're all prepared. I'll post the information soon. Cool then. Bye, guys.